Good day, class. My name is Kudzanai Uta and I'm presenting on MITRE ATT&CK framework. Here are the objectives of the framework of the presentation. What is attack? How attack looks at the problem. Technology domains covered by attack. The MITRE ATT&CK matrix and how to use the MITRE ATT&CK matrix. Introduction. So in 2013, MITRE developed the MITRE ATT&CK framework to catalog the strategies and tactics used by attackers as seen in the field. So MITRE is an organization that put together a sort of an encyclopedia for the different strategies and tactics that were used by attackers or hackers in the field, and it's more of a reference encyclopedia where organizations can use this framework to detect different malicious activities within their networks. Utilizing attack, one may build adversary emulation scenarios to test and validate current cybersecurity policies against widely used attacker tactics. What is attack? So attack stands for adversarial tactics, techniques, and common knowledge. This is a classification and description standard for cyber attacks and intrusions. Adversarial, meaning the hackers, the attackers. Tactics is the technical objectives they're trying to achieve. And techniques, these are the methods and procedures that the hackers will use. How attack looks at the problem. So the framework looks at the problem from the perspective of the adversary, and it looks at the problem trying to see what the hackers or the attackers are trying to achieve and what specific methods they use. Like I said, it's a framework, it's sort of an encyclopedia. So it groups the different techniques and the different methods used by the hacker or the attackers is seen in the field. Technology domains covered by attack. So as there are different attackers or hackers, it means they'll be using different systems, different softwares, different technologies, and they may all need to attack different technology domains. And so attack grouped the different technology domains as below. That is the attack for enterprise, attack for mobile, and attack for industrial control system. The MITRE ATT&CK matrix. This is a set of techniques used by adversaries to achieve a specific objective. So these are listed below as the first step being the reconnaissance, which is the gathering of information in preparation of an attack. For example, information about the target organization. They can get this information through active scanning. That's the first step. Then the next step is resource development. That is preparing the resources needed for the attack. The attacker will be setting up command and control infrastructure, develop different capabilities that they require to attack. Then there is initial access, gaining access to the victim's network or systems through maybe spear phishing or hardware additions. Someone can use a flash drive with a malicious software in it. That's initial access. And then the fourth one is execution, running malicious code on the compromised network or systems. So is running a remote access to or run a scheduled task, or command and scripting interpreter. And then the fifth one is persistence, where the attacker is trying to maintain the access in that network. So they can do this by changing configurations or account manipulation. Number 6 is the privilege escalation, where the attacker is trying to gain higher level permission. So this can be done by leveraging a vulnerability to elevate access. And the next one is defense evasion, taking actions to avoid being detected. So the attacker will use trusted processes to hide malware. It's called masquerading. For instance, at my organization, there was a time where you'd receive an email with a familiar name and with a link within it. So if you don't read the email completely, or if you don't check the email address, you could click the email, the link within the email, because you have trusted that it's been sent by someone within your network. But in reality, it's actually the hackers or the attackers trying to masquerade themselves as one of the people within the organization. So that's defense evasion. And the next one, credential access. This is where stealing of account names and password happens using a brute force or keylogging. Then discovery, trying to figure out your environment. So the attacker will be exploring what they can control within your system, the software and account discoveries. And then lateral movement, moving from system to system within the compromised environment. So using the legitimate credentials to pivot through multiple systems. The next one is collection. So after all the previous steps, the hackers go on and gather data of interest to the adversary goal. That is accessing data in a cloud storage or email collection. And there's command and control, that is communicating with compromised systems to control them. So the attackers will mimic normal web traffic to communicate with the victim network. And then there's exfiltration, that is the stealing of data. So they can steal the data through transfer to their cloud account. And then finally the impact, where they manipulate, interrupt, or destroy the systems and data completely. And then we move on to how to use the MITRE attack matrix. So there is adversary emulation. At this stage, it assesses security by applying intelligence about an adversary and how they operate to emulate a threat. So attack can be used to create adversary emulation scenarios to test and verify defenses. And then it can also be used for red teaming. Red teaming acts as an adversary to demonstrate the impact of a breach. So attack can be used to create red team plans and organize operations in a way the attacker or the hacker would attack the system. It can be used for behavioral analytics development. So it links together suspicious activity to monitor adversary activity. So in this case, attack can be used to simplify and organize patterns of suspicious activity deemed malicious. And the next use is defensive gap assessment, which determines what parts of the enterprise lacks defenses or visibility. So attack can be used to assess existing tools or test new tools prior to purchasing to determine the security coverage and prioritize investment. The other use is SOC maturity assessment, similar to defensive gap. It's similar to defensive gap assessment. Attack can be used to determine how effectively a security operations center is at detecting, analyzing, and responding to breaches. And there's cyber threat intelligence enrichment, enhances information about threats and threat actors. So attack allows defenders to assess whether they are able to defend against specific advanced persistent threats and common behaviors across multiple threat actors. So MITRE ATT&CK is a comprehensive and cross-referenced archive of data regarding actual adversary groups and their known behavior, tactics, strategies, and procedures they utilize, particular instances of their operations, and software and tools they use, both lawful and unlawful, to support their attacks. So, in summary, a MITRE ATT&CK framework is used by different organizations so that they can come up with their own model to cater for different attacks and to prepare for the different attacks. And that is all. Thank you.